Hi students, my name is Sumalata. In this session we are going to discuss about continuation of atoms and molecules, chapter 3 from class 9. In previous session we have been discussed about introduction of this topic and law of chemical, law of conservation of mass, that is belongs to the chemical combinations. Okay. Now we are going to discuss about law of definite proportions. After that we will go to discuss about Dalton's atomic theory, merits and drawbacks of Dalton's atomic theory. Okay. See here what is before watching this video, just try to watch previous part 1 of this lesson, atoms and molecules. Then only you can able to easily understand about this topic. See here what is law of fixed proportions. Okay, this law was given by the scientist Prost. Okay, see here this law also known as fixed proportions or definite proportions. Okay, we can call it like that also. Okay, coming to what is this law of fixed proportions in a chemical substance. In a chemical substance, atoms or elements combined or present, you can mention combined in a fixed proportion by mass. Okay, in a fixed proportion by mass. See, so many compounds were composed of two or more atoms or elements. Okay, then only compound will be formed. Only one single atom or single element can't able to form a compound. Okay, combination of two or more atoms or elements, they will give a compound. Okay, all these such compounds are having a fixed ratio of atoms or elements irrespective of where they are coming from. Okay, where they are coming from. See once, suppose you can take an example, water. See, water is present in a sea, river, pond, okay, rainwater, anywhere you can take water. It always possesses 1:8 ratio of hydrogen and oxygen atoms or elements. Why it happens? See once, if this water molecule going to be decomposed, then you will get H2 molecule and oxygen atom. If one molecule of water going to be decomposed, then you will get one molecule of hydrogen and one atom of oxygen. See here, two hydrogens are formed. So 2 into 1, 1 means hydrogen atoms, atomic mass. Okay, so 2 into 1 is equal to 2 is to 1 oxygen atom will be formed during this decomposition of water molecule. You will get 1 oxygen atom, that is nothing but oxygen atom's atomic mass is the 16. So 16. What is the simplest ratio of this hydrogen and oxygen? 1:8. Okay, 1:8. So out of 9 grams, you can take 9 grams. Out of 9 grams of water, it always possesses 1 gram of hydrogen and 8 grams of oxygen. This is the fixed ratio. If you can take pond water, that will also have same ratio, 1:8 ratio of hydrogen and oxygen atoms. If you take drinking water, that is the pure form, but it will also having same 1:8 ratio of hydrogen and oxygen atoms. In the same way, if you take sea water or river, anywhere you can take 1:8 ratio. Coming to if you take some one more example, decomposition of CO2, if you consider C plus O2, you will get C. Okay, one carbon atom and one molecule of oxygen you will get. See, carbon's atomic mass is 12, oxygen's atomic mass is 16, 16 into 2 here, 32, okay. 3:8, okay. 3:8. See, always carbon dioxide molecule possess 3 grams of carbon and 8 grams of oxygen, or else you can call out of 11 grams of CO2 always gives 3 grams of carbon and 8 grams of oxygen. Okay, this is the fixed ratio of these elements belongs to the carbon dioxide molecule. You can take formation of ammonia. If you observe, one molecule of nitrogen and 3 molecules of hydrogen, they will give 2 molecules of ammonia. See here, 2 into 14, nitrogen's atomic mass is 14, 6 into 1, you will get 28 grams of nitrogen and 6 grams of hydrogen. What is the simplest ratio for these two elements? 14:3. Okay, 14:3 grams. That means out of 17 grams of ammonia always gives 3 grams of hydrogen and 14 grams of nitrogen. Okay, if you can take one more example. See, if 1 gram of hydrogen needs 8 grams of oxygen, okay, then 3 grams of hydrogen needs how many grams of oxygen? How many grams of oxygen here? Then you will multiply this 8 into 3, you will get 24 grams of oxygen needs for the formation of a water molecule if 3 grams of hydrogen is involving. Okay, you can try another one also. If 3 grams of carbon needs 8 grams of oxygen, 12 grams of carbon needs how many grams of oxygen? Okay, 12 into 8. In the same way, 14 grams of nitrogen needs 3 grams of hydrogen for the formation of ammonia. In the same way, 28 grams of nitrogen needs how many grams of hydrogen? Means 28 into 3. Okay, you will get the how many grams of hydrogen. Okay, see, this is about law of constant proportions or law of definite proportions. See, up to this extent, Greek, philosophers at that time, scientists always means they can't able to give proper explanation for these two laws. Okay, that means there is at that time there is no much experimental result was not there. Okay, so what happens at this after that the British chemist John Dalton enter into the divisibility of matter. Let's see what is the reasons behind this matter. What are the particles present, smallest particles present in this matter. He tried to do his experimental work after these scientists. Okay, see, John Dalton gives atomic theory about divisibility of matter, and after that he took a word atom. That name was given by the Greek scientists, okay, or Greek philosophers. Dalton tells about this atom. Atom is the indivisible and smallest particle of a matter. Okay, after that now we are going to discuss about postulates of Dalton's atomic theory. See, What are the postulates of Dalton's atomic theory? See, he proposed six postulates. Okay, the first one is all matter is made up of with all matter is made up of with small particles. These particles are known as atoms. Okay, these atoms are going to be involved in chemical reactions. These atoms are involved in chemical reactions. These atoms are involved in chemical reactions. See once, suppose you can take chalk piece, students. That chalk piece is made up of with the calcium carbonate. Okay, that is one compound. Calcium carbonate is the one compound, CaCO3. Okay, this calcium carbonate is formed by the which atom? C once, calcium atom. See here, it has calcium and carbon atom and oxygen atom. See, all matter is made up of with small particles or small tiny particles. You can mention that one also. All these particles are nothing but atoms. These atoms are going to be involved in chemical reactions. See, after the combination of calcium, carbon and oxygen, after combination of these three, they will give calcium carbonate, that is a compound. Okay, chalk piece is made up of with a calcium carbonate. Those are that calcium carbonate is the one compound that is having calcium, carbon and oxygen. These are the smallest particles of that particular compound is nothing but here calcium carbonate. And you can take water also. This is the solid material. Okay, this is the solid matter. You can take water. See here, water is made up of with hydrogen and oxygen. If you consider water is a liquid matter, liquid compound, this this compound was formed by the combination of tiny particles, or smallest particles are nothing but hydrogen atom and oxygen atom. Okay, this is the first postulate of Dalton's atomic theory. You can take one more example. If ammonia, this is present in liquid form and gaseous form also. This ammonia will formed by nitrogen and hydrogen atoms. These are the simplest units of this ammonia compound. Okay, after combination of nitrogen and hydrogen atoms, okay, you will get ammonia compound. Okay, that is a first postulate. You can go to second postulate. Atoms are indivisible into further simpler units. Okay, atoms are indivisible into further simpler units, and atoms can't created or destroyed in a chemical reaction. Okay, atoms are indivisible into further simpler units, and atoms can't created or destroyed in a chemical reaction. See once, this is the atoms can't created or destroyed in a chemical reaction. We have already learned conservation of mass. Matter can neither created nor destroyed in a chemical reaction. Actually, especially Dalton's atomic theory, Dalton's postulates were mainly based upon law of conservation of mass and law of constant proportions. See once here, if you consider a chemical reaction, carbon reacting with oxygen, then you will get CO, carbon monoxide. Okay, this is see here, this is one atom of carbon, this is also one atom of oxygen, both are combining will form carbon dioxide molecule. You can call it as a compound also. Okay, see, atoms are indivisible particles. See, if you take one hydrogen atom, you can't able to cut into half hydrogen. Okay, or else you like this also, you can't able to cut any atom into its half. Okay, and after that, atoms neither created nor destroyed in a chemical reaction. See once, for the formation of carbon monoxide molecule formation here, one atom of carbon reacting with one atom of oxygen, it will gives one molecule of carbon monoxide, that will also having one atom of carbon and one atom of oxygen only. Is there any extra number of carbon atoms or any extra number of oxygen atoms are there? Once observe here, there is no any extra number. And another thing also, is there any loss of carbon atom or hydrogen atom? One atom going to be involved combining with one oxygen, they will form one carbon dioxide molecule. That carbon dioxide carbon monoxide molecule, that carbon monoxide also having one atom of carbon and one atom of oxygen also. There is no creation of any atom, or there is no any loss of atom. Okay, this postulate resembles to the law of conservation of mass. Coming to third postulate. See, what is the third postulate here? Atoms of same element are having same or similar mass. You can mention, okay? Similar mass and chemical properties, children. See, atoms of same elements are having similar mass and similar chemical properties. Suppose you can take hydrogen atom from hydrogen element. See, this is the hydrogen element. What is atom, what is element, what is a compound, we will discuss in a next class. Okay, see, this is the hydrogen element. If you can pluck out one hydrogen atom from this hydrogen element, that hydrogen atom having atomic number 1 and atomic mass 1 also. There is no any change. Another hydrogen atom also having same atomic number and same atomic mass. There is no any change. Their chemical properties and their masses also. See, this hydrogen atom has mass 1 and this hydrogen atom also has mass 1. Coming to some more examples you can take. If you see carbon present in carbon element, okay, if you take one carbon atom from this carbon element have mass 12 and atomic number 6. And coming, if you pluck out another atom from this element, that atom also having 6 is the atomic number and 12 is the atomic mass. There is no any change in their physical chemical properties and mass number. Okay, is it clear? This is about the third postulate. You can go to fourth postulate. What is the fourth postulate here? Atoms of different elements are having reverse of that one. Okay, reverse of third postulate. Atoms of different elements having different masses and chemical properties. Is it clear? Atoms of different elements having different chemical properties and different masses. See once here, if you can take oxygen, its atomic number is 8, mass is 16. Okay, this is coming from, this oxygen atom is coming from oxygen element only, not from carbon element or not from hydrogen element or not from chlorine element. This is coming from only oxygen element. You can take one more example, carbon 6C12. This carbon element atom coming from carbon element only. See, this is coming from one element, this is coming from another element. 7 and 14 you can take nitrogen. Okay, this is coming from another element. All are having different masses and different chemical properties. Its atomic number is 8, its atomic number is 6, its atomic number is 7. Okay, see here, their atomic masses are different, and along with atomic masses their chemical properties will also be differ. Okay, this is the fourth postulate of Dalton's atomic theory. Coming to fifth postulate, atoms combine in small whole number ratio. Small whole number ratio. Is it clear? Nothing but see, for the formation of, see, water, if you take formation of water, it is always having two atoms of hydrogen combining with one atom of oxygen. It will give one molecule of water only. Is it clear, everyone? Here there is no possibility to combine half atom of hydrogen and half atom of oxygen. That there is no possibility to combine. If one atom of hydrogen involving in formation of water molecule, that complete hydrogen going to be reacting with the complete atom of oxygen. Is it clear? Complete atom of hydrogen going to be reacting with the complete atom of oxygen only. If ammonia formation is there, complete atom of or complete molecule of nitrogen going to be reacting with complete molecule of or complete atom of hydrogen. Is it clear? There is no chance to form, there is no chance to involve half atom of hydrogen, half atom of nitrogen are going to be reacting with each other, then they will form a compound or further product. That is, there is no possibility. That means 0.5, 0.1, 0.5, there is not like that. Only always simple whole number. If one atom involves, then that complete atom will going to be reacting with another atom. If two atoms are involved, those two atoms are going to be involved in reaction. Okay. If three atoms, completely three atoms are going to be involved in formation of a compound or molecule. Is it clear? This is about fifth postulate. Atoms combine in small whole number ratio. There is no integers. Okay. I mean complete whole number only involved in that molecule formation. Coming to next one, I mean not integers, fractions. Okay. There is no fractions. Only complete number going to be involved in chemical reaction. Coming to another one, sixth postulate. The relative number see, the relative number and kind of atoms are always constant in a compound. Is it clear? The relative number and the kind of atoms are always constant in a compound. See once, if you can see, for the formation of H2O2 or hydrogen peroxide, or you can take water also, see it can always formed by the combination of hydrogen and oxygen only. Okay, it can always formed by the combination of hydrogen and oxygen. These two are, see, two atoms of oxygen and two atoms of hydrogen. See, the relative number and kind of atoms. Kind of atoms is nothing but, see, is there any other atom, other type of atom involving in this reaction for the formation of hydrogen peroxide? Is it can form? No, there is no chance to form further hydrogen peroxide, because it always consists oxygen and hydrogen atoms only. And for the formation of one hydrogen peroxide molecule, it needs two atoms of hydrogen and two atoms of oxygen only. Is it clear? Relative number, two atoms of hydrogen and two atoms of oxygen. And kind of atoms, only hydrogen and oxygen going to be involved in reaction. There is no other atoms, there is no chance to form other atoms hydrogen peroxide. In the same way, you can take water. See, here one atom of oxygen and two atoms of hydrogen. Is it clear? Relative number is 1:2. 1:2 ratio. Here 2:2 means 1:1 ratio of hydrogen and oxygen. In the same way, 1:2 ratio of hydrogen and oxygen involving in the formation of water. In the same way, carbon monoxide, one atom of carbon and one atom of oxygen. That means 1:1 ratio. Simple ratio of atoms, particular atoms going to be involved in the formation of compounds. In the same way, ammonia, NH3, one atom of nitrogen and three atoms of hydrogen. It is always present in 1:3 ratio of nitrogen and hydrogen. Is it clear? The relative number and kind of atoms are always constant in a compound. That means, say, the particular atoms are going to be formed in the particular compound. There is no chance to form a different, I mean, see, for the formation of carbon monoxide, only carbon and oxygen going to be involved in the formation of carbon monoxide. There is no chance to form hydrogen and carbon, or hydrogen and oxygen. There is no chance to form carbon monoxide, irrespective of these two elements. Is it clear? This is about the sixth postulate of Dalton's atomic theory. See, coming to next one, drawbacks of Dalton's atomic theory. Atomic theory. See, in Dalton's postulates, what he said, atom is a indivisible particle that can neither created nor destroyed in a chemical reaction. Neither created nor destroyed in a chemical reaction, that is okay. But the first drawback of Dalton's atomic theory is the atom is no longer considered as the simplest indivisible particle. Okay, atom is considered as considered as no longer simplest indivisible mass. Okay, atom is considered as no longer simplest indivisible mass. Why? Because atom can further divided into, I mean, it can divided into electrons, protons, atom can further divide into simpler units. Okay, electrons, protons, neutrons, okay, and nucleus. All these simplest particles are present in an atom. Okay, and the second drawback of Dalton's atomic theory, atoms of the same elements may have different atomic masses. Actually, in Dalton postulates, what he said, atoms of the same elements are having same masses and same chemical properties, but atoms of same elements may having different masses. See here, atoms of same elements may have different masses. Suppose you can take hydrogen element. Okay, from hydrogen atoms from hydrogen element, see, atomic number is same. Okay, 1H1, 1H2, 1H3. Is it clear? Atomic number is similar for all these three hydrogen atoms. All these three hydrogen atoms coming from hydrogen element only, but their atomic mass will be vary from one atom to another atom. See here, this here 2, here 1, 2, 3. Is it clear? This type of atoms are also known as isotopes. Okay, or else you can take one more example. 8O16, oxygen atomic mass is 16 and another 17, 8O17, after that 8O18. See here also oxygen's atomic number is 8, similar for all these three oxygen atoms, but the atomic mass will be vary from one oxygen atom to another oxygen atom. These type of atoms are known as isotopes. Okay, so that one also drawback of Dalton's atomic theory. You can take, coming to third drawback of Dalton's atomic theory. Atoms of different elements are having similar masses. Is it clear? Suppose you can take an example here, children. 18 Ar40, okay, next 20 calcium 40. See, these two atoms are coming from different elements. Argon, okay, this is a inert gas, inert element. This is coming from argon element only, and calcium, this is coming from calcium element. Is it clear? Both are having different atomic numbers, but their mass numbers are similar. So that in previous case, Dalton, what he said, atoms of different elements are having different masses and different chemical properties, but that is also wrong, because atoms of different elements also having similar masses. Okay, coming to fourth drawback of Dalton's atomic theory. See once, substances made up of with similar elements or atoms having different chemical properties, are having different chemical in nature. Okay, different chemical properties are different chemical in nature, chemical nature. Okay, see once here, for example, you can take allotropes of carbon. Okay, allotropes of carbon, diamond and graphite. Graphite is present in pencil. See, diamond is hard in nature, but graphite smooth in nature. Okay, see that one also drawback of Dalton's atomic theory. And another one is, he said atoms always combine in a simple whole number. See the fifth postulate, fifth drawback you can take here. Atoms not always combine in a simple whole number ratio or simple ratio. Okay, simple ratio. Why? Because see here, In previous time we were discussed only simplest formation of simplest compounds or molecules, water, hydrogen peroxide, and ammonia formation. These are all simplest molecules. If you can take complex molecules, this example I am going to write here. See, okay, C12H22O11. This is the complex molecule, but all these atoms are not combined in a simplest ratio. Okay, so that one also drawback of Dalton's atomic theory. These are the law of conservation, law of constant proportions, and after that Dalton's atomic theory, merits and drawbacks of Dalton's atomic theory. This is about this session. We will meet in the next session. Bye everyone.